you ask yourself, if Ethereum has a layer 2 that is cheap and fast, let's say it's as cheap and as fast as Avalanche or as I don't know, Harmony. Are you going to say, wow, Ethereum finally made it, I'm going to rush back to Ethereum? You think about how you would behave in that scenario, okay? I'm here, I'm already using Solana, I'm using Avalanche, I'm pretty comfortable. And now you want me to go back to the to essentially a new chain. If you see an acceleration of money flowing into crypto, those more established projects like Ethereum and Bitcoin is going to benefit, because again, those are the ones that people get into first. But if there is not an acceleration of money flowing into crypto in the near future, then your smaller coins are going to do better. Solana can do a whole lot more TPS. And other chains can do a whole lot more too. Polygon can do a lot more than what it's currently doing. It's currently doing like 85 transactions per second. It can do a whole lot more. Why is it not doing a whole lot more? Because there's no enough demand. Okay, there is like it's growing very fast. Demand is growing very fast, but it still takes time to develop new use cases, new projects, and you get new users into crypto. It's not going to happen overnight. So in this process, you're going to see this transition process. Ethereum moving from just a good old layer 1 to this really the security layer for other blockchains, essentially. This transition is not going to be a nothing burger. It's the transaction is going to be a I think will lead to activity stagnation in the short to medium term, while things are ramping up on the layer 2, which you don't know how long it's going to take. And I don't think the layer 2s are eventual scaling. The end game for scaling either. I just don't see a bullish case for Ethereum in the short term from a real economic use case point of view. I think you will see if Ethereum, Bitcoin started picking up again, like we talked about, if a acceleration of new money coming into crypto. So that price pickup will be based on speculative demand. If there is that much speculative demand, you will see price pump because there is no real economic demand, not enough right now. Then we're talking about, okay, are we going to see acceleration of new money coming into crypto in the next year? I don't think so. I mean, you see acceleration in 2021, maybe some part of 2020, large part because we had very easy monetary conditions, right? We had rates so low, we had quantitative easing going through the roof, and that puts a lot of liquidity into stock market, into real estate, into crypto, right? Now next year, Fed start tapering. They say they're going to raise rate. How much? By how much? Of how frequent? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. 3 rate increase in 2022 to 2023. That's what they say now, okay? But they're going, that's not set in stone. They can change that schedule and, depending on how the economy is doing, right? Now we have the new COVID variant. You see the chart of COVID cases in US and Europe, it's going through the roof again. The impact is less severe. The health impact is less severe, right? Not that many people die from these new variants, but it's still, the case number. You look at the case number, it's crazy. And some countries already impose the new mobility restrictions because of this. All right, that's going to have an impact on the economy. And you see new variants are coming up too. So how this is going to roll out and how that's going to feed into the decision function of the Fed in terms of how soon they taper, how soon they raise rate, by how much, I think it's still an open question, all right? But let's just say, no matter how fast or how slow the Fed take action to tighten monetary condition, it's hard to imagine a scenario that in 2022, the monetary condition will be even looser than 2021. So if it's not even looser, how are you going to see acceleration of new money? So you will see new money coming in for sure, because the impact and awareness about crypto is, everybody knows about this now. Now all the institutions want to get in, but that takes time. They're not going to come in like overnight. I know this is not your original question, but since we're here.
Go ahead.
What we may see for 2022 is you will have streams of new money coming in, yes, but not at the speed or not at the force that will, that will be an acceleration of inflow that will, pump up the whole market. I think what you may see is the overall market doing okay with some volatility, but not going up a whole lot. Remember, because it's a much bigger market cap compared to a year ago, okay? You need a whole lot. It's like the baby has grown now. It used to, you fed it 1 teaspoon of liquidity, of money, new money, and it will grow. Now you've got to feed it like 5 teaspoons for it to grow the same percentage, all right? While you don't know where that 5 teaspoons is going to come from. So I think what you're going to see, this is actually an optimistic scenario, is overall market, maybe going up a little bit, but you will see a whole lot of rotation into the newer projects because people, waiting for the bus to arrive on the bigger market caps, and they're not arriving, and people have to go out on the risk curve to look for new yields.
The whole underlying context of the entire discussion earlier was Ethereum being in proof of work, and it's slower because it hasn't transitioned yet. What I want to ask is, how big of an impact would it be to layer 2, Matic, Polygon, etc., and then the other alternative layer 1 solutions if Ethereum suddenly goes into proof of stake and sharding this at some point this year? No one, I actually don't know, because it keeps moving when it could actually happen, but will it significantly impact people's behavior? Would be also that suddenly transactions would be faster? Should they move, and fees would be cheaper as well?
You don't need to ask me. You consider your own behavior. You think about what you would do. So now, a day that Ethereum does not have scaling solution is a day that these alternative layer 1s are growing, right? So now I have like a 5 or 6 different chains wallets in my browser. And I just don't know, I don't even know how that happened. It just gradually happened. And in a short time span, right? And that's the trend. That's how these newer chains grow, because people got pushed out of Ethereum because it's too slow, it's too expensive, and people look for new solutions. And now I'm like super comfortable using these other chains. All right. You ask yourself, if Ethereum has a layer 2 that is cheap and fast, let's say it's as cheap and as fast as Avalanche or as Harmony. Are you going to say, wow, Ethereum finally made it, I'm going to rush back to Ethereum? You think about how you would behave in that scenario, okay? I'm here, I'm already using Solana, I'm using Avalanche, I'm pretty comfortable. And now you want me to go back to the to essentially a new chain, all right? Unless this chain is going to be so amazing, it's, kicking everybody else out of the water, which is not. It's, at best, it's the same cost level, right? How is this going to be? People make it sound like once the layer 2 opens up, it will be such a negative impact on these other chains. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. And I think it will attract some users, but not initially. What will attract users is if they have great projects. That's what's going to win the game at the end of the day. I had no idea what Harmony was, which is a layer 1 blockchain, right? Second tier layer 1 blockchain. Nobody was using it, right? And then they had this freaking amazing project called DeFi Kingdoms, which is like a GameFi, basically combining game and DeFi together, all right? So that was then because of that project, and people told me, oh, this is a project amazing, you should check it out. And I went to check it out. All right. Now, oh, this is amazing, I'm gonna start using this. At this stage of the game, that's how you attract users to your new chains, is to have projects that are doing freaking amazing. But that's not gonna happen on day one. It's gonna take time. And on some chains, you may not see any innovative projects for a very long time. And except initial stage, people give incentives, and some people they're more into the crypto rabbit hole. They go chase that initial reward, right? That new incentive that a new chain gives. It's like the new shop new shop opens, we give everybody like a 80% discount on day one, right? And everybody flow to that new shop on day one. And you buy as much as you can, because you know that 80% discount is not going to last, right? Are you going to go back day 2 when that incentive is not there? Depends, right? Do you like your shopping experience on day 1? If you really like it, maybe you go back. Otherwise, you don't. I don't see it happen this year. I don't think that these layer 2s will pose a major threat to the alternative layer 1s, which are already got traction. If the layer 1 does not have traction already, then that's a different question. People need to have incentive to play it other than the money.
Totally.
And what is that incentive? It's a game. It needs to be fun. You shouldn't need any monetary incentive to play a game if it's fun. Yeah. So, because that is a utility that people consume in itself, right? Why do you play a game? Because it's fun. That's a reward in itself. That is an end utility. If it's a product, that is the value proposition.